Everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at another unboxing, another one via proxy bid. This one from a place in Texas. You see there's two boxes on the table. We're probably going to do this in a two-part because I know it's going to take some time to get through both. We're probably going to take the longer box first. And just by way of introduction, just to let you guys know, it's kind of funny. Last year about this time, I acquired a Swedish M96 Mauser, and I did a Christmas special on it, reference video top right up here, and it was a really beautiful Mauser. It was all numbers matching, and additionally it was manufactured in 1901. So I was out on proxy bid and happened to come across another one that was in what appeared to be really nice shape. And additionally, pardon me while I set that box aside, under initial inspection, looking at the videos, or at the photos, it looked pretty nice. So I was like, well, I'm going to watch this auction and see if it goes for a good price. And it was a Swedish M96 manufactured in 1907. Looked really nice. I have no clue what the bore looks like. So I did take a bit of a gamble on that. However, the Swedish M96 that I got on there was $400, which I think was a smoking deal considering. Hopefully the bore, I really hope it looks good. Now additionally, part of that same auction was a FN model 24/30, and that, boys and girls, is a Haitian Mauser. It's going to get its own separate video because I've not seen anyone do a video on a Haitian Mauser. I've only seen Ian do one in the past. I may link up here if I remember, on what appeared to be a forgery, maybe, or a weird copycat. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't exactly a Haitian Mauser. And then to go along with that, of course, I got a British L1A3 bayonet. Oh, by the way, that Haitian Mauser was $800, so then also found a British L1A3 bayonet to go along with my Springfield SAR 4800 to go on the front end of that. That was $130. But without further ado, let's get off into this. I'm very curious to see how this M96 looks up close and personal, and even more so, I'm very curious to see the bore condition. I'm hoping I'm pulling the right rifle out of the box here. We will soon find out. I chose the longer box thinking that that's got to be the M98, I mean the M96, and it looks like I might have been right. And I'm knocking stuff over everywhere. Okay, you guys can see that they actually packaged it pretty nice. Bolt separate from the firearm, bayonet also in here. That's one thing I neglected to tell you guys. The M96 was also, I consider it such a smoking deal because it came with the M96 bayonet. Now, whether or not this bayonet matches the rifle, I don't know, but I figure one of these, they're about $100 to $130. So realistically, when you look at the cost of the rifle, you're only looking at about $270. So once again, I think it was a great deal. I don't know if anybody else thinks that, but that's fine. Let's see if we can get into this. They definitely did an excellent job packing it. I have no idea the condition of the bayonet either. I did see a few photos, but there weren't many. Let's see. There's, well, you guys can see this. You probably can't see it very well at all. I apologize. My lighting is not the best in here today for whatever reason. But anyway, there's a 3 with a line and an I-27. Then it's got number 415. And this is a different bayonet, or different sheath. The number does not match on it. There are a few light rust spots on it. It is wore down to the bare metal. However, the blade itself still looks really good. It has been sharpened some, you can tell that. But still really nice looking, and it has some grease covering it as well. So no worries there. It's relatively nice for what it is. Let's get into the rest of it. Now this is, of course, one of those rifles. It's chambered in 6.5 by 55 Swede. Here's our bolt. 114, 114, 114, 114. That's a good sign. Absolutely beautiful shape. It's definitely been used, but looks to be in wonderful shape. Dry as a bone, though. Alright, so let's get into the rifle. They have a lot of tape on this bubble wrap. And apparently I have a dull box cutter. Now guys, a lot of you will probably think, oh, well, why would you want that caliber? You know, it's actually a really good caliber that they chose for the rifles. And in many aspects was part of, I guess you could say, the inspiration for the 6.5 Creedmoor. And this caliber's been around a very long time. You can still get PPU still makes ammo for these. You can still get that, and it's just a really good shooting cartridge. If I can get this out of here. Alright, so, and I'll insert some pictures on this stock disc, as well as what looks like a holdover cheat sheet there. Right now, I'm looking to verify serial numbers. There it is. 114 on the butt plate. I totally forgot it was up there. I'll let you guys see it. It does have a decent amount of wear. However, still looks really good. You'll see RL203114. Of course, you see the Carl Gustaf. You see the 1907 with the crest. 114 on your rear barrel band. I apologize, guys. I have a sinus infection, so yeah. 114 on the front band. There is no marking on the band there, on the spring band. There's a 546 on the cleaning rod, so that's not the original cleaning rod. However, we do have 114 on the floor plate. Now, I'll just shut up and show you guys. It's a really long rifle, so it's hard to get it in the photo, or get it in the field of view of the camera. Now, yes, there are some dings and dents and, you know, blisters, I guess you could call it, in the wood. But the rifle overall is extremely nice, given the age. Of course, you're talking, you know, nearly 120-year-old rifle. So, I guess I need to look at the crown. There's just a little bit of rust in there. Let's check the bore off camera. Surprisingly, the bore is quite nice, good strong rifling, and still shiny. Let's see, one thing I did not look at. Okay. 114 on the rear sight, so that's good. Yeah, this is a really nice looking rifle. I don't remember exactly how to read the stock disc, so my apologies there. But I will insert photos as we go back, or as I go back and edit this. But this is, honestly guys, this is a gorgeous rifle, especially for the price I paid, which I think was a steal. Is it as nice as my other one? Maybe not quite, but still in extremely good shape given the age for sure. Plus, now I didn't tell you this. My other one is not import marked, but this one is. And you can see the CAI marking right there on the barrel. I'll insert a picture of that. Now there might be some rust hiding out under the wood. I do not know, not until I take this apart, but it at least appears on the surface this rifle is in wonderful shape. I don't know. We shall see. In case you guys are wondering, that's what it looks like with the bayonet attached. And this is an extremely long rifle, so you have an extremely long reach with said bayonet. So, pretty cool. Actually really happy to get both those together. I'll have to set this on the floor because this thing is so long. To get the bayonet back off. Now what's interesting about this is when you put a bayonet on one of these rifles, the handle of the bayonet itself is actually hollow. So it slides up and actually covers your cleaning rod, which is different. Most of the time, you know, they kind of go underneath or what have you. But I guess the Swedes had a little bit of a different approach. But like I said, guys, can't shake a stick at that for that price. I mean, that's a really great deal. And the bore looks good. I didn't see any major cracks in the wood or anything like that, something that, you know, might be problematic. Like I said, I'll go back and put plenty of photos in so you guys can see the details on this, because I know the camera just does not do it justice. But really, really beautiful Swedish M96. Once again, like I tell you guys many times, don't forget to exhaust all your efforts. You never know what you're going to find. Sometimes you'll find some really, really good deals. Sometimes not so much. Now, honestly, guys, that what I shot you in terms of what I told you, you know, what it cost, you know, that's not counting a buyer's premium. So just bear that in mind, because every single place that you find out there is going to be different. So I just tell you what it is before that. In most cases, it ranges from 15 to 25%. Just depends on the seller, and you can also get a discount if you pay via cash, of course. But you guys are smart; you can figure out how to do that sort of thing. But anyway, just want to share this with you guys today. If you guys have any cool M96s like this, let me know. Let me know your experiences with them. I've not seen this little holdover thing on the stock before. Well, I've seen them on them before. More often than not, the ones I always see have the stock disc that give you the bore condition, things like that. But curious to see what year ranges you guys have. So for right now, I've got a 1901 and a 1907. Like I said, you can go back at the very beginning of this video and you can reference that 1901 that I did my Christmas special on. And you guys can see the condition of it compared to this. I do believe it was in decidedly a little bit nicer condition than this one. But just wanted to share this with you guys today. I want to thank you guys in advance just for tuning in. Thank you to all my subscribers. And once again, thank you guys for all your likes, your shares, your comments. Until next time, you guys have a great day.